Hello. Yeah, she just always plays with her hair right before she goes live. She looks at herself, she plays with her hair. This is what she does because she gets a little insecure right when she goes live and she sees herself and she's like, "What's happening?" I'll tell you what's happening. I put a lot of makeup on. Like I put all the makeup on. I'm not going out anymore. I bought a lot of makeup in quarantine and just kept buying makeup. It was, like the way I sort of comforted myself and, the little addiction that got me through it. So because of that, I have a lot that I just like look at sometimes and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that looks like. I have no reason, to like bust out, I don't know, a color changing pigment eyeshadow right now in quarantine. And so, honey, when I was like, I'm gonna put on some makeup, I was like, and I'm gonna try a bunch of stuff. And that's what I did. And then 2 hours later, I painted my face obviously, and decided to go live. So that is what you're seeing. So I wanted to see what this eyeshadow looks like. There should be moments that are pink to you, and then it should like transcend into a green gold sometimes, or like a green gray. I don't know. Hi, Lindsay. Nice to see you. My name is Chris Fair. If you don't know, this is a little live reaction room to tonight's Tell All Part 2 finale of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. It's been season 5. What a whirlwind. Here we are, all the coops. Well, not all the coops. Coops are couples. Because we are not going to see Paul and Karini probably ever again. I mean, maybe? I don't think so. Like, if we see them again, then the show definitely has no difference than like Love After Lockup in the sense of quality level. Like, I really want your opinion. Same producers, obviously. If you in your mind think 90 Day Fiancé is a step above Love After Lockup, and I'll tell you why I think it is. It seems a little more like a docuseries as opposed to like a straight reality show, as well as like the way that it takes advantage of people. Like they took advantage of that Cliff and is that his name? And that girl from Love After Lockup, the drug addict. No. Oh, take that off my lip. And got it, Violetta. I love you. And because my lip's gonna come down, it's so glossy, and my I have like a profile where my chin meets my double lip or my bottom lip a lot. So Tracy, right? The way they took advantage of those obviously like addict crazy people who like were in a toxic relationship was upsetting. And if they continue to have Paul and Karini on the show, that's a problem. It's a problem. And they don't have Scotty on the show with Angela, which is a whole other ordeal. So that to me, I mean, I thought that they maybe had like drawn like some sort of line in the sand. But that should be it. So Paul and Karini, right, we haven't seen them. They're not in the tell-all. Sean Robinson didn't talk about it before, but she did release a statement. She talked to Entertainment Tonight, and I do have that here. She said, verbatim, honey, from her mouth, she said, yeah, the situation between Paul and Karini is very complicated and a sensitive one. So when we were about to do the tell-all, their situation was very fresh. So we wanted to give them the space to really work through that, honey. So that's what happened. We're not going to see them. I hope they don't see each other ever again, except for maybe like baby. I mean, I hope that Paul gets help. And I really don't. What Karini said alleges between her and Paul is horrifying. It's like rape and like domestic abuse and like keeping papers from her and like just not good. I think that he's psychotic. My inner gut is that he's psychotic, allegedly, and on pills. He seems to be mental problems is on the show, and I think that his mom knows that. But like she like doesn't want to give him any more money because she feels like she's, abetting him or like aiding and abetting him in that. So, hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. So very interesting, very sad, but let's get into what we saw. So yeah, this is it. I think this is it. I will bring you my thoughts and reactions like I usually do, which is me going through stuff. If you want to say anything super special, you're welcome to super chat me. You don't have to. But I love you and I appreciate you. You do you. That's what I'm going to say to that. Okay, so, and I'm sorry again if my like makeup is offensive. I find it a little bit too much. So so I should say this, because I decided to put like all of the makeup on my face, like a crazy eyeshadow, then I had to put eyeliner on. And then after I put eyeliner on, I was like, well, this looks crazy. I need a false eyelash. But then I was like, I don't want to do like a normal false eyelashes. So I bought these Moxie lashes, which are the magnetic eyelashes, right? There's Glamnetic, which I think Wa has used, and these Moxie lashes. Moxie lashes were on Costco.com. So I was like, okay, I'll buy them. So I bought them and I have the little wispies on the end, but I think they look weird. Maybe I should have put the whole set on. I think I like also put some extra glue that like is somewhat anyway, but you know, I'm gonna stop talking about it. That's what I did. This is what it is. This is what's happening, and I appreciate you guys. If you haven't yet liked this video, go ahead. You know, we're gonna talk about things. I'm really excited about getting into Angela and obviously all of the drama. This wasn't the best episode, right? Like, obviously we're in COVID. They can't even see each other, and like all the violence that we're gonna have, like, or even threats of violence, or even like any sort of dramatic situation, is honestly a moment where Angela just almost knocks her computer like off of the books that they are stacked on for her. And just like you see, like, I am so mad at you, Michael. You know, like that's all you see, and it's like, oh, she's mad. But then like she's like in that mask, and she's like in the another room. You know, like where Scotty. I mean, or Skylar or whatever. I'm gonna talk about Scotty a lot because Scotty was unnamed in this tell-all part 2, but she should have been. We'll get to it, but like I just love them being like, well, what are our options? Skylar says no. I want something from my bloodline. And it's like, yeah, but she's not a good one. That one came from your bloodline. She's not good. There's some problems with the Scotty-sized elephant in the room, which is you're not, you know, like, were you guys thinking that too? The whole time I was thinking about that. Yeah, Scotty has got eggs, but honey, they're tainted. That woman, like, she's been in prison for child molestation. That's why they can't talk about her, but they keep wanting to kind of talk about her because they keep hinting at the possibility. So I don't know Angela's whole life, but Angela only has 2 kids, or what, maybe 2 daughters. Yeah, honey, those eggs, send them back. Those aren't good eggs. Okay, so oh, I just moved my thing. Okay, so yeah, but that's I want to talk about Kalani, Asuelu, and that whole nightmare. Tammy, the whole situation, Asuelu's mom. Okay, so it's at first Angela comes in, is like she's gonna fight Tammy. That makes me really, really happy because Tammy's like crazy. Like Tammy, I mean, this is again, I don't know if this is like Samoan culture or whatever, but Tammy's like, first and foremost, you have to send money back. Period. The end. I don't care about your family, I don't care about your kids, I don't care about your marriage, I don't care about the rest of your life together. Your family unit, don't give a shit about. It's all about sending money back. And I can't tell like if it's because my own privilege or my own ignorance. I do not understand how poor they are there. In a sense, like, are they so poor that Tammy looks around in America and is like, the fact that you wouldn't send money back is like, F your family? Like, that's what I don't know. That's what I play around with my mind. Like, is it like Rosemary poor where you're like, give them some money? Marianne, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. I really, really appreciate it. That's very, very kind. I love you. Thank you. Yes, Marianne. I appreciate it. And also thank you to all my mods for just jumping in and saying thank you, by the way. Yeah, like she is just like, if you are not going to give money to our family, like that's first and foremost, bottom line, what it is. Get on that. If it's the marriage, that's the problem with that, then dissolve the marriage. I don't understand why these women, Tammy and her mom, do not care about the kids, those 2 little boys. Is their hatred for Kalani so strong that they're just like, is it that, you know, like, people have kids, kids are kids, kids will be taken care of, the rich people will take care of the kids? Is it like, is the luxury of being able to, I mean, is it a luxury to think about that? I like, you should care about the kids. Is that how poor they are? That the like idea of no one giving them money or giving them help or wanting to is just like astounding. You know what I'm saying? But it truly feels crazy. And like when Tammy says that, it's like, if I was Kalani, I'd be like, you could die. It's fine, honey. Bye. I'm good. I'm good without it. Like, I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't like your face. I don't like your puffy sleeve. One arm puffy sleeve. Samoan, like Hawaiian-esque Polynesian dress you're wearing, sitting on a couch. Some sort of BS eyeshadow. This is Kalani talking, not me. Because, I like a BS eyeshadow. But Kalani. So Kalani, honey, she gets like some Orville Redenbacher, honey. She just smart corn pops, just starts, can't have it, don't care. She just starts eating. She's hungry, honey. She can't deal with what she's seeing. It's already a movie. It's already drama. She's already been through it. She's, maybe I feel like for Kalani, since she has been through it, and honey, and it was hard for her, and I get that. I feel like we really saw Kalani struggle, like mentally in this, like she broke down. She's like, ugh, I don't care. I want to get divorced. So I almost feel like, is there some sort of like disconnect that helps her get through the footage and dealing with it all, sitting right next to this man still, her mom, her sister, if she's A, eating because of the comfort thing. And I understand that. And also B, the disconnect that she's watching it like a movie, like it's not really happening to me, honey. So yeah, then her mom is like, it's really upsetting, Bobby Blue, like to see her struggle, blah, 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 blah. And Asuelu's own mom is like, I don't understand what Asuelu's problem is, like why he keeps leaving, like why he keeps having to play volleyball. I tell him like, no volleyball, Asuelu, stop it. Stay, Asuelu, in the house. I don't want you to go out all the time, but Asuelu keeps going out. Like, tell him, this is a horrible accent, but the whole point of the story is that like everyone is like, Asuelu, quit the volleyball, quit it. Just chill on the fucking volleyball for a second, like hold it, get to it in a second, like a little bit later. And that man leaves in the middle of the tell all for volleyball. And I'm just like, is volleyball a different name for like opium? Heroin? Lisa, it was a joke. I mean, it's just like, yeah, but at the same time, it's like your life. It's hard. Um, uh, I'm cracking my back. Okay, so yeah, I can't imagine. I feel super bad for Kalani. I do think she should get a divorce. Like, it's very hard specifically to watch her and Kalini, like, especially when Kalini, again, like, they show that scene of her being like, if she was on this foot, if I was wearing your shoes right now, you'd be like, leave him. And I would get it. And you know that. And that's true. I had a moment where I was like, yeah, like, if any of my female friends or cousins or whatever were in this situation, I would just like, I feel like I would have to like kidnap her. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's like kind of true. Did you guys watch the Paris Hilton documentary on YouTube, by the way? Side note is that exists. You're on YouTube now. Whatever, do you? But I will say that like it was really interesting. I think that she, executive produced it, so like she's smart because she's also giving herself like a foothold into like a new generation of people who like respect her and think that she is like not only an influencer and the first influencer, but also like has a sad story that like makes her more vulnerable. But in the documentary, she talks about how like yeah, like she has dreams about being taken in the middle of the night, by like disciplinary people to be like taken away to like, because she had to go to these behavior schools. My whole point of the story is if one of my female friends was in a situation or cousin in a situation like the Asuelu situation, I would have to come in the middle of the night and steal her away with the kids, everything. Steal her, take her. She'd probably like get mad at me for like a second, but honey, like be doing her a favor in the end. Can't. You're better without. Plus, you need to like have the energy. Because Kalani like is, I think, really beautiful, and I think that Kalani like in Southern Utah can like meet like a lovely man. I only say in Southern Utah because I'm obsessed with Southern Utah. I like want to go to Dixie National Forest. It's super gorgeous. I feel like Kalani should just meet like a nice dude that has like a job, can help her like raise those boys, and Asuelu can like go live with his mom and Tammy and like get some BS job and like go back to being raised by them because A, they didn't do a good job. B, he can't take care of himself. He has no mind of himself. Like, he is not strong-minded, obviously. He's not mature, obviously. In like old-fashioned terms, you could say that he isn't like his own man. You know, like he's not manning up. He's not being able to like really hold his family in a place that they respect him enough to like trust his choices in life. It's really shitty. It's really shitty when people from your family can ever loudly express discontent with choices in your life in such a way, because it automatically assumes that those are unsuccessful choices, or you're so unsuccessful that you don't know what you're talking about. There is something intrinsically emasculating about that if this person is a man or identifies as a gender-based man. Like, so what I'm trying to say is Tammy and his mom, and whether this is the culture or whatever, or someone emasculating towards him. At the same time, I'm not blaming him. It's absolutely his fault. And I feel like I wonder what the family dynamics are for Asuelu when he was growing up. I would love to know. Okay, so then they have like a brief break where they talk about like every couple's sex life during the quarantine. And I like this part. Libby and Andre are like, we do it 5 times. And then Sean Robinson's like, okay, but we have to -2 of those times, right? They're like, well, whatever, per week. And then Larissa and Eric give a bananas answer where they're like, we do it 5 times a week, like real, like sex, and then 4 or 5 times others, like not, I don't know what it, like 4 or 5 other times other stuff. And I just really wanted to know, sorry, this is like, again, magnetically going to my other thing. Like what, so are they just like making out and other points they're calling that? Like they're counting makeouts or just like blowjobs and hand jobs? And I just feel like Eric looked to me, did I say this already? And I'm so sorry if I did. I wrote this down as a note. Like a 22-year-old in an old man face app. He's so interesting looking. Oh, my mom is here. Oh my God. It's so difficult to watch him. And Larissa is just there, honey, and her tits are huge. And I did tweet this, but it's like, yeah, like no wonder why they had to make her areola small, because like she wants to wear shirts where like, gotta be small because you would see them. I didn't think about that because I talked about her areolas a lot this season, honey. Okay. Colt is disgusting. And I think that we can all agree. Like this whole country could come together right now over the fact that Colt Johnson of Colt is gross. Truly not a human, not a good one. And like Debbie made him. So both of those people can go. Like they're disgusting. Like, first of all, their relationship bananas. Second thing, he is the epitome of like a manipulative dude who wants to lie to women and make them look crazy and feel crazy by, and this is a big topic and trigger word right now, gaslighting, right? But that is like the perfect example. He's textbook of someone who's like, turning the narrative around in such a violently delusional way to suit him, specifically victimize him and make the whatever woman look crazy and or bananas or off her rocker or over dramatic, when in fact he's horrifying. He wants to contend that he was never in love with Larissa or Jessica, that he was in love with Vanessa. Okay, and Vanessa, like, even though they hooked up, she wouldn't be with him, right? Or whatever. And that's when he like went to Jessica, but he did want to get married. And so that's why he asked Jessica's dad for her hand in the marriage, but he wasn't really in love with her. And also Jessica likes to bone everyone all the time, including him. She just always wanted to bone all the time. And Debbie this whole time is like, you know, Jessica, you're the liar. Because she would keep calling Colty a liar. If I was to do a drinking game that was just going to get you like smashed, it would be like take a shot every time Jessica calls Colty a liar. You'd be in the hospital. Just send me your bill. B, hi. So I I just really like it's very difficult to watch Colty, is watch him like again toggle between like a sociopath and a murderer. I mean, he is just like at sometimes just like incredibly proud of the fact that he fucked women over and has his mom like to be his hype woman right here, which is bananas, to being like sincerely like, you know what? I'm sorry, Jess. I am sorry. I did cheat on you and I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm sorry. You know, like being like that and then being like, oh, Jess, you like, you know, like you liked it. Like, you're just like, what? I mean, it's. And the fact that Debbie just sits there and is like, Colty, I made that and I'm going to make you steak later, you know, like if you're good or whatever it is, like, I don't know. What a mess. And this whole time I'm watching Larissa, I'm like, I'm never gonna see you again either. I'm never gonna see Paul and Karini again, probably. I'm never gonna see you again either because you've been kicked off the show. And I'm not gonna join your OnlyFans or your Cam Soda live stream. I mean, I'm just not going to. Well, everything good must come to an end. Um, my dad is listening to some little loud. Okay, I should just tell you that my dad uh, went and bought Bluetooth speakers, two of them that I paired to each other. And so he is so happy, honey, he's listening. I made him a Rat Pat playlist in Apple Music, all his favorite tunes. And so he keeps walking around with the Bluetooth speaker around the house, listening to his playlist. It's like Bolero or something right now, like Dean Martin or something, not quite sure. Okay. I just really feel like Colty's disgusting. Colty is gross. I guess I am happy he's losing weight, honey, but it's really hard to watch, and I don't like watching him talk or whatever. I don't, and like, the only somewhat interesting thing that made it okay to watch him talk and like ruin these women's lives for like whatever time in which they're with him was the fact that he also like wouldn't mind showing how horrible he was on TV, like physically looking. And the fact that he's trying to like turn his life around by like losing weight and stuff like that, and then like that's giving him confidence, but he's still a horrible human being that's treating people poorly, is like, oh, now you just like feel like you're too good. You're better than them. You're not. Even if you lose a bunch of weight, you turn hot as hell. You're never gonna be like good. You have like a sick mind. Live with your mom and she's bananas. You're like Grey Gardens with your mom. It's crazy. Oh, sorry, mom. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Colty and Debbie. Um, so, did you like the part or like not like the part? Like, it was interesting when Larissa gave her like, you guys, I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told anyone. Everyone's like, and she's like, I put a like GPS tracker on Colty's phone. But this is what she said. That he said that he was at a meeting and he was just walking around a place called Rise. And I like should have probably looked at that's like a strip club or whatever in Las Vegas, but then it's like also like by a Wells Fargo or something like that, whatever. And like so then that was the night when she did that. She was like one of the first nights that she got arrested or whatever. And it's so interesting because like Colty just got into the hearts and minds of these women by manipulating them, but also finding ones that like, oh God, would be for some reason a situation to like want to believe him that he's ideal. I feel like they wanted to believe that in like him in some way. I feel like if you didn't want that, you just met him. You'd be like, I don't need to date you. You're gross. There's nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe everyone wanted something else. That's what it is. Like everyone wanted something, but he's just so horrible and mean and monstrous and boorish that he like just ruins lives. Um, Okay, let's move on to Tanya and Sinjin. So Tanya and Sinjin. I enjoy Tanya and Sinjin more as people this season that I did last season or their first season, but I will say that their storyline was 100% more interesting last season. Remember, like, was the soulmate thing and the voodoo witch doctor and honey, like when he would have to talk to her mom and hang out with her mom, and she went away for a month to like that, like making soap camp in the middle of the Amazon. I don't know, like when I watched the show, maybe not, but like, like remember all of that? That all happened one season and they got married and then, and then he came here and all of that. This season, they went there and they just kept having like meal after meal after meal where people were just like, why are you guys together? Or you should be together. And they're just like, both like, we don't know why we're together. We're mad. We're together. That happened between Tanya and Sinjin. This season was like the introduction of, his friends, or like we got to hang out with those people that are cool. And we're just like, you're, like, who are you? And you're not the person that left. And let's talk about what happened, which was that you guys met each other real super fast. You brought this girl home. We were all living together. You were just shit-faced all the time because South African culture, I guess, or whatever is, very, very drinky. They're a drinking culture. I mean, listen, am I saying this from like personal knowledge? Of course not, but I'm telling you like what they are, what they would like say. So he moves Tanya in, honey, and Tanya from the bat in this dude's hellhole. Can you imagine how gross this place was? Oh, she says like there's no furniture, there's only spice racks. Spice racks. I would have said this one time. I dated this dude. My mom's in this room. Haha. I dated this dude that lived in a house with dudes, and it was like a comedy house. God bless, God bless. And the bathroom wasn't en suite. Wasn't an en suite bathroom. So his bathroom was not in his room, is what I'm saying. Shared. And it was disgusting. Their kitchen was really horrible. I know, let's go to. And I can only imagine with these like three dudes like drunk all the time, just like pizza boxes and the smells and the hairs, just like just like everywhere, and like the smells, the dust never anything. The mirrors in the bathroom look like Jackson Pollock paintings with a clear coating, just spots everywhere. Oh, like toothpaste stains, like the toilet has never been cleaned, and the trash is coming out, honey, of that trash can like a volcano exploding in Kauai. I am telling you, I could really imagine how horrible it was for Tanya. And she probably came in knowing Tanya and was like, all right, let's get this cleaned. Let's do this. I just can't stand here. You can't do like this. Why would you guys live this way? You can't live this way. This is not how anyone lives, much less you guys, much less me in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't take it well because it was her place. And they weren't dating her. They had to live with her. They get to make out with her at the end of the night and like feel on that booty? No. They just had to be like told what's what by her. And that whole time she's taking away their best friend. He has to like change his behavior for her. And she's obviously American, so they know that like eventually she wants to take your best friend away. I'm surprised I'm surprised it was as civil as it was, this conversation. Like, and by the way, they were both really civil about it. Like, their friend said what was what, which is exactly what I told you, which is that she came in, told us what's what, and she was like, yeah, I did. She wasn't like, I didn't. We don't need her to not tell us. I mean, we know that she probably did, because like, who is true? Like, okay, I think that ultimately they are right in the situation. The dudes are right because it is their place or whatever. But for human dignity, that like what she says, like her stuff was probably a good idea. I wondered if she cleaned at all as a way of just being like, look, I don't know if I'm paying rent. Maybe she did have to pay rent. I wonder if she bought any food for them or they cooked or whatever. Ugh. I feel bad they lost their friend, but I mean, I feel like Tanya and Sinjin have a lot of fun together, which they say. They definitely bone a lot. They definitely drink a lot, even though they have all these conversations about him being an alcoholic. She drinks too. That's probably how they met, just like drinking and whatever boning. And I feel like if he could find meaningful work that he likes to do and can somewhat get paid well for it, I think they have, honestly, that's their biggest contention. I think that they can like work through it. I think they truly love each other. I was looking at them looking at each other, and I feel like they're still in a lust bubble. And it's like a long time to be in that lust bubble. And I like feel their like attraction to each other from like off camera, which I kind of also feel with like Libby and Andre. So I also like the fact that like, did you like the way that Tanya answered the lust bubble question? Because she kind of like was put on a spot in a situation where Sean was kind of like, are you gonna be upset that like he said that he was in a lust bubble with you? And she was like, no, that's how it was for us. No. Still is, I want to be like, yeah, girl, get it. The honeymoon is not over. Okay. I just want to know the following questions. I do miss their first season so much. What's happening with the soaps and like the witch doctor shit? Like what's happening with like all those things that she went to that camp for? Is she making them? Is there an Etsy shop for it? I don't like my hair right now. Let's keep touching it. Like, I'm happy that he's a server. Is she doing anything? And my only question is because also in this season, she has a point where she's like, you like supposed to love me for me and I want to be a housewife, but you don't want to buy me a house. And I was like, oh, she wants to be a housewife. Like, I thought that she wanted to like work. Is she saying she doesn't want to work? Or is she saying she wants to primarily be a housewife? And if we can get this like witch doctor soap business chugging, that's great too. Like is that like an alternative income source? Anyway, do you guys wonder about that? Also, what happened to that psychic that like made the soulmate comment come out? Which, by the way, Walt got a reading from her. I forgot her name. I wish Walt was here. Okay, let's talk about Angela. Honey Angela. If you haven't yet liked this video, would you go ahead and give it a likey poo just by hitting a thumbs up? Sometimes you have to exit out of the chat, but it really, really helps me and, tells YouTube that like you've enjoyed your time here. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Yes, well, I went to that psychic. Do you love that? She told me she did like a video about it. What was what she did? You know what? I really want to do like some sort of live stream situation with WA, which I think I can do on maybe Twitch. I had asked what you guys thought about, but I did like a comedy show via Twitch, and I think that I can like just have her come into like a Facebook room and somehow, I don't know, do it so we can. She'll tell us what she wants to tell us about her psychic reading. Thank you so much for liking this video. And we're going to go back to our last segment, honey. And that was the Angela segment. Angela just with that, honey, that mask, and Angela and Michael. And then, Auntie Lydia phones it in. And we have Skylar. And we have Unspoken Scotty. And we have the star of the show, that last egg. I'm just kidding. Okay. I love you guys. Okay, so one thing that I also said in the last tell-all video was that it made me upset that Angela seemed like she was on Colt's side. So in this segment, it gets really, really, really into the baby, the egg. The fact that Michael wants to have a child, which we have been knowing the entire time. Michael has never not talked about the fact that he wanted a child. Never. And we had a lot of conversation about Angela being able to like somehow do it or not do it. And her understanding the alternatives because it was important to him. She has done research about his culture, so she understands the fact that they have multiple wives and or they have a wife and a baby mama. They like have mistresses. I'm not saying that he's going to have all of those, but that it's like the idea of a relationship is just a little different to serve the needs of those involved and the wants of those involved in the relationship. Like, obviously, Angela doesn't want him to have sex with anyone else. Doesn't want that need to be fulfilled by anyone else besides her, right? And you can see, I can understand a woman somewhere who was like, I don't care so much about that. He can have sex with other women sometimes, like, to be a favor, honey, I got a night off or whatever it is. Like, I can gotta organize or whatever. But that's not the way Angela is, because she's very jealous. And even though she also is totally fine with making him jealous, because she's a little bit of a double standard that we got to see with her flirting with people in the Tell All Part 1, but we had to deal with that. That's fine. But Angela is in a full-on situation and state of mind where she's like, I can't have a baby. I don't want it. I can't have it. I don't want one because I specifically don't want to pay for it. Also, I'm old. And that's obvious. It is obvious. She keeps saying her age, 54, 54, 54, 52, 54. I can't tell. One of those. And 54, Michael. I'm 54. And so Michael is wants to be well, the whole time I said I wanted a kid. And there are alternatives, but I have put that knowledge out there really early on. And we have to now see Angela pretend that it doesn't make a difference. Lindsay, we love you too. From Lynn, and happy 13th birthday, my daughter. Okay, yes, from Lynn, and a happy 13th birthday to my daughter, Kalia. That is a beautiful name. Kalia. P.S. Say hi to Wa for us. I absolutely will. That's a really beautiful name. If my mom is still in the room, she'll tell you that her mother's name, my grandmother's name is Leah. And I think my mom always liked the name Leah or Malia. It's a really beautiful name. I love it so much. Thank you so much for that amazing super chat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kalia. Happy birthday to you. Yes, honey. Oh my God, 13. To be 13. First of all, social media means nothing. That's what I would say. I'm sorry to be 13 in the age of social media, but in the end, all of it's fake. Literally, people just filters on their faces. It's all fake. And all that matters is how you treat people and your own self-identity and your own growth you do. And usually the dorkiest and or weirdest and or most eccentric people at 13 end up being the coolest adults. And all the cool people at 13, they're horrible as adults. Truly. That's how I feel. There are some cool people that figure it out early and are nice to people, it's are warm to people that are, look out for people who, you can feel that energy when there are kids that are like that, but mostly in high school and in junior high, the super cool people are just so dumb and unaccomplished and basic and simplistic when you get to, I would say your 30s. And the people that were somewhat weird or somewhat dorky or just really into one thing or those people if they followed that one thing, they can be super cool as adults. So that's what I would say. Watch A Social Dilemma. Honey, I would watch A Social Dilemma, but then I would literally have to get off social media. Everyone on Facebook is hi, I've watched The Social Dilemma and I no longer can be on this platform. So it's been real and deleting this tomorrow. So email me, but at the same time, it's I don't care so much about Facebook, even though I do have a Facebook group, Vanity Fair, and I like posting in it. Facebook is not the end all be all. Instagram is. I love Instagram. And it's the exact same thing. It's owned by Facebook. So it's the social dilemma wants to kill Instagram for me in that way. And it's do I want to kill my darlings? Okay, so going back to the Angela thing, it is like in her mind, and this is a point that Skylar wants to say, which is, Michael, why is it so important for you to like save face to your family, and why can't you just tell your family that it doesn't make a difference? You can't have a kid with Angela. All that matters is that you're with Angela. And Michael, because he has been this whole time so open and honest with about wanting a kid, like doesn't know what to say. It's not my family. It's me. I want a kid. It's not them wanting something that I don't want. And he says it's them wanting something that's right. Okay. Now listen, anyone cannot have a kid and that's right for them. Okay. But in his mind, it's right. And whether he is saying it's right, so that's what I should do because that's what's expected of me, or it's right because I want a child. That's what is the most important thing. Whether he truly wants a child or where he thinks that he should just because it's right. To me, it seems like he wants a child. He wants an heir. It means something to him, like his masculinity or his manhood, or I don't know. He wants one. If the shoe was on the other foot, and this was a woman who was like, no, it's very important to me my whole life to have a child. And we saw a man be like, totes, well, we're going to have a child. I mean, there's a lot of different options, me or, there is obviously a lot of options if the shoe's on the other foot. You'd be like, cool. If they get married and the man just was like, just kidding, it's too expensive. And I want to be able to like hike. You'd be like, no. There is no way I feel like to be on Angela's side for this. And I think it's like really disheartening that they're like trying to make it seem like it's not important to him. Like Skylar specifically is like wants him to say that okay, she's like, my mom had a deal with you, in the early days, and me being like, you could be a scammer, and she stood up for that. Like, why can't you stand up for her? And he's like, I'm standing up for myself. I said what I wanted, which is I want a baby. And Angela, your mom, said that she did as well, and that it was important to her and that she wants one. That's not what she's saying now. And I wish there was other options. Like you, can you do it? She's like, no, I don't want to do it. And yet Scotty exists. This was the part where it's just like, we can't say that. Scotty. I wondered if like Scotty was in the other room because she's out of jail. And there's no way that Scotty's gonna be able to afford a place by herself. Right? Scotty's living in that house, right? What do you guys think? Everyone's living in that house. This is what I mean, like, everyone's living in that house. It's Angela, it's Angela's mom before, the passing. It's all the kids. It's Skylar. Scotty just got out of prison. You're telling me that Scotty is not in that house with all them eggs? Ready to hatch? I just wonder if she's gonna like take one of Scotty's eggs, or if she's like, "Look, Scotty, I took care of your kids while you were in prison. Now have me a kid." Or am I wrong? And do Scotty and Angela not talk anymore? Is Angela mad at her for the whole situation? Do they not live together? I really need to know. And can someone tell me? Yeah. So we get a little Angela yelling at Aunt Lydia, being like, I respect Aunt Lydia. I respect it, but this is about me. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And it's like, yeah, just like he wants to do what makes him happy, which he told you. Michael doesn't want to even move to America. Like, he would be happy if you would stay in Nigeria. It isn't like, like Usman or something like that, where he's like, let me get there. Like, I guess he does want to move there, but like, I feel like Michael has so strongly been like, child, I want a kid time. I want to be a dad, father of the year, this one, next year, but to try and deny him of that, or make him feel like it's wrong for him to want that when you have told him it's a possibility and what can happen if since it's important to him is messed up. Now, it is really expensive, and I get that. But like for Angela to also be like, yes, but you told him that he could, and how is he supposed to know that he can't? She almost makes us feel like he's so dumb for believing her because of how expensive IVF is. He's like, but I'll come there and I'll work. He's like, you know how long that's gonna take? And he's like, no, because initially, no, I don't. It feels like, for some reason, it does feel like Angela has more money than you think that she would, because she takes care of a lot of people. I know that she's a nurse, but she traveled to Nigeria a lot. She has all those kids. Are they all dependents? Why does it feel like, and people think that she has money? I feel like people think that Angela has money. Is it only from the show? Angela's okay. So I want to just finish this and then I'm going to talk to you guys. So yeah. So at one point she gets so upset that she knocks her screen over, her like computer over. You get to see that, whatever. And like that was the like, oh shit moment of the show. Which, can you believe that that's the oh shit moment of the show? Because it's a Zoom tell all that I mean, what can you do? I mean, I guess I could have tried and like had like an oh shit moment where like someone walked into the frame we weren't expecting. Like Scotty, or but like I'm trying to think like what would be a good one. Well, I guess a moment of like, I guess we're gonna meet, Jess's new dude, like I guess that's it. But it's not that exciting. Anyway. Okay, so I am done talking about this episode. I'm gonna talk to you guys now. 46 minutes. Woo-hoo-hoo. She knows and she supported Scotty. I've had a 5-year relationship with a much younger man. And I said the first week, I'm not having another child. I'm not getting married. Yeah, don't make it seem like you're going to, or that's an option. Not too many oh shit moments with this cast. Yeah, especially not this season. Yeah. If Angela really wanted a baby, she'd find a way to make it happen. I got the feeling she actually doesn't want one. Yeah, she doesn't want to pay for one. She doesn't want one. Also, Angela has babies. I'm not even talking about like Skylar and Scotty and however many people that she actually gave birth to. Those people went and had babies. So she has babies that are running around her all the time. She has 1 billion grandchildren. They all look different. There's boys, there's girls, honey. There's, So she definitely does not want to have to hold one in her tummy. She's old and there's no way she's get pregnant and push it out or whatever. No, not nopes. Or whatever. So in her mind, I'm sure she's just kind of like, Michael, can you just come here and pretend one of these are your kids? They're already like half what mine, or my bloodline. There's different ones. There's blonde ones. There's brunette ones. Michael, just grab a couple, pretend you're yours. TLC is screwed with Miss Rona. They can't do much more than 90 shows, so they have to milk this cast somehow. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, so I shouldn't make fun of the biggest thing that's going to happen is like a monitor falling over or whatever. But yeah, it was just, maybe it also just felt like it didn't have to be like 2 full 2-hour tell-alls. It's 4 hours. But I will say it must have been difficult to like go through all of the Zoom like recordings and having to like edit them together. They did a good job. I mean, at least I understood what was happening. They would like show the 4 people that and have reactions. And why not adopt a child from Nigeria? Yeah, like that's a great idea. But like, here's the thing. I truly feel like Michael wants his own child. I mean, Michael is just going to have a child in Nigeria. Like, it's already been too long for him to come to America. Like, especially after this, I feel like Michael's just going to, like, go out, especially now, and, like, get drunk and, like, put a baby in someone. Maybe he'll just, like, have the baby on the DL for the rest of his life if he actually gets to America. However, at this point, I feel like if Michael was to hit up someone and get someone pregnant in Nigeria, do you think that it would get out on social media? Like, would Angela find out? Like, I feel like maybe he could somehow keep it from her. Also, I just don't think that he's gonna be able to, for some reason, get to America. It's already been so long. They've already been married. Okay, Angel's delusional and desperate, and it's so not gonna work with her and Michael because he wants babies one day. Yeah, absolutely. Linda, I don't think she should have married him and robbed him of a chance to have his own child knowing this. But yeah, absolutely. She was very selfish of her. She was just like, she was like, I just want someone that's like young and hot, and, like makes you feel good. And I think they do have a good time together. Like, I do think they have like a love for each other. But I mean, it is selfish because he's been so open and honest about that. Exactly. This tell all could have legitimately been one part at 2 hours. All these additional episodes are a total waste. Absolutely. He talked to her about it constantly. I mean, I feel like every night before he like goes to bed, he like hangs up the phone. He's like, and don't forget Angela, I want a baby. And she's like, all right, Michael. How am I gonna sleep now? Um, you want something that's his product. Yes. There has to be a compromise. I think culturally it's only acceptable to have it, but yes. It's something or nothing from Mr. C. Um, Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. And I do feel for Michael and it's what he wants. And it seems at least that it's what he wants. So he has to figure out what he's going to do. And truly, if she wants this relationship to last, she's absolutely going to have to let him have a baby. I think what Angela is afraid of, this is what I feel like it is that she's going to have to take care of the baby. She feels like if he has a baby, the baby mama is going to have to come over to the house sometimes. She's going to see her. Undoubtedly, the baby mama would be somewhat younger because she's got to be a baby mama. And that Angela would feel incredible amounts of jealousy at all times, seeing this woman prance around with the child, knowing that she couldn't give Michael a child, and that the mother and Michael would have the baby in between them and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I 100% get. Like, the best possible outcome would be if somehow Michael could knock up a woman in Nigeria, get the baby, take the baby back to America. And Angela, I know, is just like, I don't want to raise that baby, but you're going to have to say yes to one thing. At least if he did that with a Nigerian woman, you technically don't have to see her. I don't think. Let's roast Tanya. I came in late. Tanya obviously the first season was just like the nightmarish of nightmares. I feel like in this season she was just like screamy all the time, and she definitely like doesn't get that like she shouldn't complain to Sinjin's family and friends about Sinjin because none of them like her. So they're not gonna like be on her side against this person they grew up with and know and love. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird that always annoyed me. I'm just like, Tanya, these are not your people. For her to be like, he doesn't care about me. It's like, yeah, because so they don't care about you either, honey. You're preaching to a choir of people that don't care about you. Like, appeal to a different part of them, like, or about, what it is, because, her complaints about Sinjin to Sinjin's people are just like, he's lazy, he doesn't know what he's doing, and those are somewhat negative. And so, indubitably, those people feel defensive over Sinjin. And also, Sinjin is now back. They haven't seen him in a long time. They're already feeling better about him. And, like, he looks a little troublesome and that he's gained some weight. They're like, are you okay? And then you just have this woman that's crying all the time being like, he's not good enough for me. And they want to be like, you leave him here then, and we'll take where he should be. She's not gaining any fans. So that was one weird thing that happened all season long. She's so delusional and so narcissistic, she thought, complaining to his friends and family that they would take her side. Yeah, TJ, I know. Yeah. Legit only solution I can see, Michael donating sperm to a lesbian couple. Babylon, yes, how she thought about it. Okay. Legit. Only solution I see, Michael donating sperm to a lesbian couple and them having a co-parenting relationship where Michael and Angie just babysit sometimes and they all have a TLC show. Pamela. I want to pin this. That is so funny. I've never pinned a message, but then that's funny. Because I go to the front. Okay, I can't do it right now, but that's hilarious and absolutely true. And I would watch that. And absolutely, I would watch that. I would love it. How thrilled he looked when he saw his buddies. I know he was so happy for them all to be together and just like throwing them back. There was like a lot of warmth and joy in those scenes. You know, they're like really good friends. I really like meeting Sinjin's people. Tanya doesn't get that though. She wants him to be on her side. You know, it's a part where sometimes Tanya like is so unaware. She wants to pretend to be like super aware, super grounded, super mature, she wants to, you know, a go-getter, very organized, you know, like, and she has those parts, and there's other parts of Tanya that are like, so you're just gonna like put a bunch of rose petals on a busy airport floor for like a second with your two friends. No more shows with these people. I've had enough. Okay, Mr. C. Bossy, spoiled, entitled. You're so right, Pamela. And I would watch that show. Yeah, Pamela, that comment. I would watch the shit out of that show. Pamela, I want From Your Lips to God's Ears. Can someone just like, I don't know, get to Sharp Productions? Matt Sharp is the guy. What do you think Matt Sharp is like as a person? The executive producer of both Love After Lockup and 90 Day Fiancé, all of them. Do you think he's a little schmarmy? Do you think he's a little egotistical? Because do you think that he is like, this is who I don't want him to be. Like, I don't want him to have like the feeling of a greasy car salesman or like Us Weekly News reporter. Or like a Hollywoody type, like, it'd be hot though if Matt Sharp was like cerebral in some way. But then again, like, he definitely has his finger on the pulse of trashy TV. Your eye makeup is fabulous. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. Yeah, it's okay. So it's a color changing pigment that I bought through this site called Chaos Makeup. And I like the fact that, like, yeah, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's pink, right? Sometimes it's gray. I'm getting into these lashes more. I should have put the whole thing on. I just Googled him and he looks not what I expected. He looks like a Mormon. Oh, that makes sense because of the TLC. You know, because TLC execs, like, all of these like shows with like the uber religious sex, like, you know, like, yeah, the Duggars and Honey, All the Sister Wives, like, there is something innately conservatively religious and white about the TLC programming. And I know I said white. I know they have like some, you know, shows that are not just of white people. I think like there's a new multi-kid show with a family of color. But I just feel like the TLC executives all have to be just like they all to me feel like Mormon white men. I don't know. I worked a reunion for a day. Sharp entertainment is nuts. My friend walked off set. It was one of the worst 14-hour work days of my life. Oh my God, I want all of the info. I want it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's like a shit show. It's just like Bad Girls Club, or like, not Bad Girls Club, but like, yeah, the taste level of a Bad Girls Club is what I like could see. Can you please start covering Love After Lockup again? You know what? It's like, where did I start? I get confused over Love After Lockup's, like, even their season guide. I feel like they're on like season 2, episode 99. Like, I don't understand. I'd like to though. I watch this tell-all, but otherwise I only watch Pillow Talk. Just can't take an hour or so of this nonsense every week. Yeah, and Pillow Talk has gotten better. I think they've landed on the people that are like somewhat interesting, and the couples like know how to make things fun by like reacting big and like having one-liners and stuff. And But I mean, yeah, the other way too. Is the other way still on? Now the question: Who's the next to open an OnlyFans account? Okay, it's such a good question. Um, Paul. If Paul of Karini and Paul doesn't have one, I'm surprised because I think that he's like starving for money. Who else? Does Anfisa have one? Anfisa like definitely shows booty pictures or whatever, and like definitely a lot of pictures where like she just shows off her body. I don't know if it's like truly Anfisa's thing, but then okay, I don't know if it's truly Anfisa's thing for that. However, do you remember that when Anfisa and George were on a billion years ago, one of the things that was like came out was that she was a cam girl, and that's how they had met. That like he had joined, that he was like a fan of hers, and that's how they had like come together. Was like her being a cam girl, and why I bring that up is like I remember like he had God, he had said a biting remark at a reunion, like if I told her the truth or something like that, like if he had information about her that would damage her reputation, like if he was holding on to something uh about her past that was like somewhat shady or sexual or demeaning or like humiliating in some way. Do you remember that? And if so, to come around, be like, say no, that wasn't true, and come around and join OnlyFans would be somewhat interesting. Ooh, ow. No nudity on Anfisa's. My dream would be Andre or Sinjin OnlyFans. Oh my god. Who more? Andre, right? Andre more than Sinjin. Andre has to put in that work, honey. He says with Libby, he has to do his job. He knows what his job is because he's not making money. He, yeah, Andre's job is make sure baby isn't dead, wash car, make sure baby isn't dead, put it down for Libby when she gets home. And Fisa Fitness, a fuss more fitness. Yeah, on Lisa, are you saying is that what's on her OnlyFans? Oh. Thanks, M21. Wanting to work for the dad, but be a boss. Yeah. You guys, yeah, it's just very interesting. I can't believe we're done with the season, and Sean Robinson looked great. You know, they edited it together in such a way that it didn't feel super awkward for it to be a Zoom. I wish, I guess, yeah. What can you do to make things interesting or like pop off? It's like, you know what they should have done? Like, and I'm surprised. Like, I'm almost surprised that Eric didn't propose to Larissa on this tell-all, because you know that they're only together for the fame, and he's only together for the clout. They're like in a showmance. That's not a real situation. And I'm trying to think of like that would have been a smart, good like tactic, because like if they had gotten proposed, like if he had proposed to her during this tell-all, then now as we watch, we'd be like, oh my god, and they could be like, yeah, that's what happened. We're engaged to be married, and we're moving to, because they moved to the place we're moving to, which I think is Colorado Springs. And tell me if I'm wrong. Like Erica and Larissa left Las Vegas. Supposedly, when she got like detained by ICE or whatever, it was like right before she was supposed to leave. And then they like, so when she got out of being arrested, this like time that just happened like 2 weeks ago or whatever, they like left and moved. So it would have been good PR for her, I think, to be like, Erica and I are getting married. Because then just think, you could like then, honey, do a bachelorette thing, at like a strip club. Then you can do like an engagement party at a strip club. Like she's like into promo things, like that. Like you could have done a billion of like little press things, like a special, like Larissa picks her wedding dress. I mean, who knows? I don't, maybe not that, but like That would have been a smart move. If I was her manager, honey, if I was a reality show manager, and I could be like, yeah, take over the tell-all part two. Be the talk of it. At the very last moment with the oh shit, like Eric's like, you guys, before we go, I have one last thing. Larissa, will you marry me? And she's like, "Ee." He's like, I don't actually have money for a ring because I just paid for all your surgeries. She's like, it's okay, Eric. But I also sort of thought that she should have killed him when she was on the anesthesia. So, I mean, I really go back and forth with my theories, what I would do. So, who would be a good replacement for Auntie Shawn? Me, obviously. I think they are getting married so she can stay. Totally a business arrangement. I don't think she has the time to wait. Yeah, but Mickey, why wouldn't they just, let us see that moment and have it be a thing? And Anfisa's making money off her OnlyFans and her YouTube channel. Andre could put a few spicy pics on the schedule. Marissa's facing deportation again, so marriage may be in the offing. Okay, yeah. Sinjin is. I don't want to ever see pictures of Sinjin's D. I'm good. Yeah, I think that he's attractive in like a friendly, jovial way. And I'm definitely, if I was like young and like traveling somewhere and like was drunk at a bar and like Sinjin was the person that I was talking and drunk to, like I could see myself like making out with him. Oh, absolutely, like he's charming. But like I don't want to see it. I could just do that, you know. Andre, ugh, yeah, I want to see it because he's so cocky. You know what I'm saying? Gotta see why. Um, they keep talking about her being picked up. I know someone who married just to keep someone in the country. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Or yeah, bring someone here for sure. She sells pics of her feet for 150, and that's how Anfisa's making money, hand over fist. DJ from Alaska. I would love it if you could host the tell all, Chris. Oh, thank you. You and Ma could host the tell. I would die. Oh my God, she does foot stuff, foot pics, $150 per foot pic. Honey, you can sell 150 per foot. That's $300 for a pic of two. Wow. I have good feet. I've been told many times. So, well, it's a backup career. Like really just like holding my back pocket, a lot of backwards. If I need to. Colorado Springs doesn't seem like a good fit for Larissa. No, like basically no other place besides Miami does, right? Go to Miami. I'm going to say it again. Why did she ask Colt and Debbie how often they have sex a week? I think that she want. I feel like she should have absolutely, you're right, asked them that and wait for them to slip. And Colt and Debbie, how much about you guys? And then like be like 3. I mean, we hug each other just every night, just like a hug. Bye, mom. Oh, if I was to be, I just feel like he doesn't have sex with her. That's disgusting. I'll never say that. But I do feel like maybe he just like gets a little like comfort suckle every now and then. You know, I want to go to Miami. I need to get a pedicure, get to work, honey. Yeah, like I want to be like a stage mom of my own feet. Get those tootsies out there. Let's make that money. Just gonna walk on you for free? No, get out there. Sing out, Louise. My feet are just like all my pictures of my feet are them smiling like I don't want mommy to hate me. You know? Comfort suckle, you know what I mean. I don't want to say it, but how am I not going to say it? This is what you pay me the big bucks for. This season has been so just boring. Even, I mean, not that I want to, even the Karini and Paul things did not happen on camera. Like, we got to see him take her to a sanitation plant. What did Larissa do that got her fired? Was it canned soda or something? Canned soda, Cam Soda. Yeah, it's the fact that she had a contract with Cam Soda. She got a contract with them to host and probably publicize a live that she had that was specifically, I think, aimed at showing off her body and the what's the word? The like reveal of her plastic surgery. And I want to say that that stream happened before the episode of her like going outside with her friends, having her reveal with her friends and Erica. Remember after her surgeries, where like there was a scene where she goes outside and her, not Carmen, it's like other friends there. Like, oh, you look great. Like, we don't even see a difference, or we do see a difference, or they're big, whatever they said about her. And she's like, thank you guys. Like that scene in that episode happened after her stream on Cam Soda. So, like, I think that's what it was. TLC was like, no, your makeovers and that's a part of your storyline. And maybe like we own whatever narrative of like showing that exclusively and stuff. And so, Lisa, okay, now you said broke an NDA and morality clause. Okay, so the NDA I can believe because you're not supposed to like give out information based upon like what's going to happen or what has happened. They want to try and keep your storyline as like hush hush as possible. So the morality clause is something I haven't heard or whatever, but it's confusing because where the hell do you draw a line? That is such a subjective line of like what your cast members can do off camera, when they're not filming with you and not. And again, like you're going to get mad at Larissa for having content on a website called Cam Soda when you have other people on OnlyFans have content like Colty. He's not fired. OnlyFans is a site that's like has a connotation for porn. It's not as porny as Pornhub, or I've never been to Cam Soda, but I mean, it sounds like Cam Soda or whatever is like strictly porn. Someone described it as like a back page-esque site. Lisa, sorry, Lisa said, the minute the finger goes in, that's the line. Lisa, are you telling me that in Larissa's Cam Soda, she like penetrated herself or something like that, and that's what got it? Huh. Is that true? Or is that like that's hilarious if it's not true? I mean, like that is you're right. That would be a line. That would be a line if it wasn't what exactly happened. I'm just wondering, like, Lisa, did you watch the video? No, you're laughing. I did not watch Larissa's live stream. Oh, I love you so much, TJ. I I just feel like, in the vein of Larissa, in the vein of Anfisa, I like a loud, yelly woman sometimes on this kind of show, and especially when the person that's getting yelled at somewhat deserves it. Larissa could be a horrible person, and everything you say about her, or not you, but everything the fans say about her, or the people that watch the show, about how she's a horrible mother and she has 3 kids in Brazil. We never hear about them. All she wants to do is get plastic surgery and be famous. Yeah, yes. I don't know her situation with her kids. Doesn't look good from the outside, but I don't know it. And definitely she wants to be famous. That's obvious, and like the plastic surgery, like it's not my choice. I wouldn't do it. It's not my aesthetic, but she's not the first or the last. I think Colt is a disgusting person, a bad person. So I think he needs to be yelled at, and I want to see it happen. And you need a person with a loud, booming voice to yell at him. And listen, Larissa got cast in my heart for that. Just like Anfisa got cast for yelling at George. And you can say all you want. I mean, they're different people. Anfisa's whole, like, people got yelled at her, or people were so mad at her. You have one good argument against Anfisa, but, like, people were so mad at Anfisa because they're like, she's such a gold digger. She just, like, wants him for his money. When Anfisa over and over again was like, no, I was living in my home country. This person met me. He came. We would hang out. He showed me. He lied to me. I don't know what to tell you. He was like, this is what my life is, and this is what we travel like, and this is what, like, I want you to move to America, and please uproot your whole life, move to America, I'll take care of you. And she does, and it's George in, like, a 1-bedroom apartment. All of his family, like, hates him. He's, like, sells weed, I guess before weed's legal or whatever the hell it is. And she's like, give me my red makeup back, but she yells it. I just, I think the women were honest. Anfisa was. Larissa just, like, Larissa wanted something, and then Colty's what she got, and she, like, they both were a mess. Anfisa never got arrested, though. Anfisa was smart. The person that got arrested in the Anfisa situation, George. Now she's with some Arab guy and just, like, absolutely has a workout body. George has OnlyFans now, too. Oh, my God. Who would touch Colt, period? Not Debbie. I loved Anfisa. I wish we could see Anfisa now. I wish it would do Happy Ever After. I know I forgot exactly what it was, but I assume it was because they wouldn't pay her enough. TLC wouldn't pay Anfisa what Anfisa knew that she was worth. And that's where we are today. And that's why we don't get Anfisa. Because Matt Sharp is like, there's not one person big enough in this show to tell me what to do. I'm Matt Sharp. Look buff, Chris. I've been working on my arms more too. Oh, thank you. I got 10-pound weights, and this is like my thing where I just put on a song. Usually it's like a hip hop song that has like a beat, like, or whatever. And so I'll just like I'll just like, let's just say it's like WAP, like, there's some holes in this house, there's some holes in this house, there's some holes in this house. I just like will put on a song and just like do a little arm workout to it. Give me a show with Anfisa, Larissa, and Jess. Absolutely, Toby. Absolutely. Yes. There was another Russian woman that we were like, oh, I remember, oh God, you guys, I always wanted Anfisa to be friends with that other Russian woman too, that was like on the show. There's other people that can be on the show too from the seasons. George was $100. For his OnlyFans. George's OnlyFans is $100 to join. What, a month? What is he sending you? He hopefully is sending you, like, literally, I mean, a quarter of weed. I mean, like, that's a lot of money. What Sock? Oh yeah, never got his George cameo. Thank you, Pamela. Yes. So What Sock is a YouTuber that does will go and join people's OnlyFans so you don't have to. Yeah. Oh, he was supposed to get a cameo? Oh my God. Yeah, because George found out, I'm sure, that Wet Sock was Wet Sock. That Wet Sock was Wet Sock. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Savita. $100 for a cameo. Is that, I mean, like, that's how much he doesn't want to do cameos. He's like, ugh, I hate doing them. If you give me $100, I'll do it. You're just like, it's just on your cell phone. What are you doing? Like, how, This tell-all, its real name is the Walk Away tell-all. I know. That was so, can we talk about this? Like, yes, like the biggest things people can do is like, I can't talk anymore. I'm just going to get up and throw my microphone down, go get a snack, or go get to the bathroom. I would have enjoyed someone to like change the background put on a filter. No one, I love the idea of people like storming off of a Zoom, but not turning off the Zoom or leaving the Zoom. There wasn't any like black screens. I'm totally liking Kalani, and I didn't like her before. Me too. Me too. Kalani's popcorn makes me. I do want popcorn. Did you want popcorn when you were eating it? When you were watching it, I was like, is it white cheddar flavor? And I was like, my mind, like, is it Smart Pop? Oh, I love Smart Pop. All right, I've been talking for almost an hour and a half, so maybe I should go. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching with this season with me, and all my moderators. I really appreciate you guys like joining this conversation and doing the Lord's work that you do, saying hi to peeps. Of course, like thanking people for super chats, which by the way, thank you so much for all my super chats. I appreciate it. That's so generous and lovely. So happy, Mickey. Thank you so much for being here. All my babes, peeps, my Jessies, my Lisas. Who else is in here? Yeah, Violetta, you could be a Pamela. You could all be moderators, truly. Okay, Mr. C, TJ. I really am 21. Oh, nephew just came in, honey. Sing. What should I sing? Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar. I love that song. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to wash my face off, take off these magnetic lashes. Who would you say is a worse BF to have, Colty or Jesse? Oh, God. Colty. The annoying thing about Jesse was that you'd have to like pretend to be perfect all the time, like not drink and like really maintain like athletic prowess and like a good body, but Colty would just like manipulate you. You could just like Jesse's dumb, so you could just be like, I could have him around, like my little palm. I want to take these off so you can see. Like isn't this so crazy? Like you guys, this is the magnetic look. Look how easy it is to put on. Oh. Oh, it's not easy, I guess. Oh, it is kind of, right? And then it pops back on. I could watch this all day long. I'm not doing a good job. Wait 1 second. Should I do it this side better? Oh, yeah. They're interesting. They're not my favorite. They're kind of messy, and the eyeliner itself isn't the best. Truly, if I cared about false eyelashes and I didn't want to get extensions, I would really look into Lashify, which is like your at-home extensions. Anyway, I don't care about lashes that much. I just whatever I did today. All right. What else is happening? I'm in a lust bubble with you guys forever. We are in a lust bubble. It's all of us together lusting, and it's never going to end. But don't worry, I won't come move into your apartment and tell you what to do with your lives. Just keep all your BS, non-furniture, spice racks all out and about, honey. That's fine with me. Fine by me. Okay. All right. I love you guys. If you haven't yet, go join Vanity Fair on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for Lebanese. You guys are the best. I really appreciate you. Be safe. Okay. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe. Make art. Have an amazing week. I really want to do a live later this week. Not talk about 90 Day Fiancé, just talk about life. But leave me a comment, tell me what you want to talk about, okay? All right, baby boos. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.